Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you're all sitting back comfortably with a cup of your favorite beverage in your hand because we are going to talk to you today about how GoTo can enable your company for flexible work. My name is Natasha Rock, and I'm the remote support group lead here at GoTo. And I'm very glad to be your host today. The agenda for today is to cover what is GoTo, what does the GoTo brand represent. We will also dive deeper into GoTo's Rescue, our remote support tool, and also show you a demonstration of how Rescue works in a live environment. So let's dive in. What is GoTo? We are a company of flexible work for the last 19 years since our inception in 2003. We help make IT easy from anywhere and anywhere. We design software for flexible work, and we have, like I said, been doing this for the last 19 years, so we know what we're talking about. So what we do is we are the only company that helps you connect and support your employees, no matter the location, no matter the device, no matter what they're using. Our software is a single application which is powerful enough for enterprises, and we are used by some of the world's largest enterprises today. But we are purpose-built and focused on our SMBs and our mid-sized companies because we understand that the SMBs of the world today are growing businesses and they need the right tools that will give them the ability to connect and support their employees and their customers, no matter the location. Our company has been grounded in trustworthiness since day one, since the last 19 years. We are recognized as such by a lot of the industry's third-party review sites and a lot of the customer review applications. Because of our strong reputation for security, for our uptime and our reliability, we don't take that for granted. We never take advantage of that trust. In fact, we innovate on top of it and that's what's kept us number one in the market as we are pioneers of remote work and zero trust security. Let's look at how we accomplish that for you through our GoTo portfolio. As you see, we have GoTo Connect and GoTo Resolve. GoTo Connect gives you a business communication solution with the ability to host meetings, to run webinars, and to have your town halls or set up a contact center solution for your company. And GoTo Resolve gives you the ability to resolve issues for your consumers, for your employees with remote access, remote support, remote monitoring and management, and zero trust security. And all of this is built on a foundation of being easy to use, being flexible, security, and being able to manage and deploy from one application, from one console, and of course, 24/7 support and 99.99% uptime. Let's dive a little deeper into GoTo's Rescue solution. Rescue is an enterprise-grade reactive remote support solution that's been in the market for the last 14 years. Some of the world's largest companies and enterprises like Accenture or Salesforce or Microsoft or HP or Dell uses our Rescue remote support tool today for remotely supporting their employees or their customers. In its essence, it's a SaaS-based remote support solution, which is accessible and usable across devices, across PCs, Macs, mobile phones, whether it's a Windows, a Mac, iOS, or Android. It's purpose-built for help desks and for call centers and for large-scale support operations. We help you also not only resolve software issues, but also hardware-related issues, whether it's an issue with a keyboard or with a printer or a router for an employee or a customer that's working from home, or a location that is not physically supportable by a live technician. Security is always top of mind. We have the right security protocols from AES 256-bit encryption to HIPAA compliances, SOC 2, SOC 3 compliances, and GDPR compliance. We also offer integrations and APIs for you to integrate Rescue with your other CRMs, ERPs, or frequently used applications like your Salesforce, Zendesk, Freshworks, or other applications. Customization and branding. We understand the need for customers and end users to get a seamless experience when they reach out to your support team. And so we allow you to put your own branding and your own logo on Rescue. So to summarize, Rescue is fast. Technicians can gain control of an end user's device in a matter of seconds, and within a matter of minutes, diagnose what that issue is and resolve it. It's enterprise grade. So while we are built for enterprises and used for enterprises across, we also offer banking grade enterprise security, like I said, with 256-bit encrypted connections, access granted via secure pins and links, and end users must always permit a technician to perform tasks before the technician can even remotely control their machines. When the session is over, Rescue automatically uninstalls the small file that enables that session between the technician and the end user. It is reliable. We offer 99.99% uptime throughout from day one. Rescue is also flexible, so you can, with just one tool, enable your technicians to resolve from the simplest to the most complicated issues across multiple platforms, whether it be a PC, Mac, or a mobile device. And with its new video streaming, interactive video support solution, agents can now support virtually any product or any issue, whether it be hardware or software. It's also easy to deploy, being SaaS-based. With just one click, you can set up Rescue in your environment and enable it for one of your technicians. You can set up one technician or hundreds and thousands of technicians in a matter of minutes using the Rescue's robust administration feature. Rescue is also easy to use, where with one click and with one easy to use console, technicians can perform all the functions they need, from being able to remotely diagnose what an issue is, being able to transfer a file to an end user machine, being able to administratively control that machine and install files or resolve issues. All of those controls reside in the technician's hands, all easy and easily deployed and enabling fast support. So to summarize, the benefits of Rescue today is industry-leading companies find that Rescue helps decrease the cost per incident, it helps improve the first call resolutions, it reduces the overall support costs for a company, heightens customer satisfaction, and increases the support technician's productivity. These are some of the ROIs that have been reported to us by customers that use us today. Now I'm going to stop talking and transfer it over to Bob, our solution consultant, who's going to show you Rescue's functionality over a live demonstration. Thank you, and over to you, Bob.
Thank you, Natasha, for introducing GoTo Rescue. Hi, everyone. My name is Bob Chaisuwan, solution consultant from GoTo. So today, I would like to show you our flagship remote control, GoTo Rescue. GoTo Rescue is a standalone remote control that is also a SaaS solution. So you can simply just use GoTo Rescue from anywhere as long as the internet is available, and then you will be able to support the user. In terms of the engineer, you simply need to download LogMeIn Technician Console. This Technician Console supports for Windows and Mac. And then you will be able to support your users based on many operating systems such as Windows, Mac, iOS, and also Android as well. There are a couple scenarios that you can implement Rescue to suit your organization needs. So the most common way to use the remote control is for the engineer to initiate the connection to the user. And then another way is for the user to send the request to the engineer. So we are going to explore both options today. First, in terms of engineer initiated connection, the engineer can then start the new session and generate the pin code. In this way, the end user is going to go to the 123, logmein123.com, and then enter the pin code that is provided by the engineer. This pin code is a one-time pin code. If you need to connect to this machine sometime in the future, you also need to generate a different pin code. And it also has a timeout. So you can set up a timeout for this particular pin code to be valid. So from here, the end user is going to start to download an applet. This applet is a temporary application that is not going to permanently install on your device. It is simply run as a system process. So this way, when you terminate the session, it also removes the applet as well. Now the user is going to execute the applet and then send the connection request to the engineer. So from here, you can see that the pop-up is popping up on the user device. So from here, the user and the engineer will be able to start communicating. Now, if the engineer is ready to take control of the machine, he can then simply just launch the remote control session. And then the user simply need to accept and grant the permission to the engineer to take control of the device. And this is going to be the first way that you can connect to the end user's machine. Now, another way to connect to the user's machine is by pre-install an application on your user's machine. This application is called a calling card. So calling card can be deployed to all of the computers by downloading the calling card MSI. When you install the calling card, you also be able to set up branding, so you can change the logo. You can also change the name of the application as well. In this way, simply ask the user to launch the calling card from the desktop. They will then be able to enter the PIN code that you are going to give it to them. In terms of the branding of the calling card, you can also change the logo and the background to be your company preference. Now let's move on to another way that the engineer can initiate the remote control to your users. This way, we are going to use the unattended session. With the unattended session, you can pre-install the unattended agent on the device. And in this way, you will be able to see the list of the device that are available for you to remote at any time. Simply double click on the device and then provide the credentials to log in as the administrator. And in this way, you can simply just connect to the machine without any user intervention. So these are three different ways that you can initiate the remote connection to the user. Now, another way that you can provide the support to the user is you simply allow the user to send the support connection from their side. So this way is going to be the way that support connection initiated by the user. The way that we're going to do that first is deploying the technician console. Oh, sorry, my bad, I'm sorry. The calling card. But in this way, with the calling card, we are not going to use the PIN code. What we're going to do is we're going to allow the user to fill the form that we provide to them. This form is fully customizable, so you can have your own questions and then you allow the user to fill all of the necessary information and then send it to your support team. When the connection has been received, here you can see these are all of the different field of information that has been entered by the user. So the engineer will be able to accept the connection request and then launch the remote control to connect to the device. Last step is again, the user need to grant the permission for the engineer to connect to the device. Now, another way for the user to send the support request is by going to the URL that we provided that we provide to them. So for example, you can set up a URL that you allow the user to click on that and then send the support request from there. Okay. So from here I have this URL that I can put into my website. Okay, and then probably I have a hyperlink in my website saying if you request support please click on this link. Okay, so in this way the user is going to click on the link, and the first thing that is going to pop up for the user is the chat window. So from here, engineer receive the connection request, start the session, and then they will be able to communicate to each other using the chat. At this point, the engineer is still unable to remote to the device. So if the engineer would like to use the remote control and remote to the user device, I can then let the user know that they need to download and run the applet that I'm going to send. So here I can prompt the applet for the user to download. They will then be able to download the applet from the link and execute the exe files that they downloaded. Okay. So these are all different scenarios you can implement rescue in your organization. Rescue is suitable for small organization up to large enterprise. Okay, that is because it's scalability. So you can see over here, this is the web-based administration center, where you can create users, assign them into a different roles. You can create a multiple group of engineers. So in this case, if you have few technicians or a couple hundred of technicians, okay, this application can scale pretty well. Okay, so in your case, if you have multiple teams, such as support level 1, support level 2, you can group them into a different hierarchy over here. In each particular group, you can also set up a different permission for those groups as well. So we have about 40 different permissions that you can set up. And in terms of the security is our #1 priority. When you create the user, you also be able to enforce the password policy. So in this way, you can control what would be the strength of the password. You can also enforce two-factor authentication. We support LastPass Authenticator, which is our own password management. Okay, but if you have single sign-on for any applications, we also be able to integrate with your identity provider as well. Okay. Now another thing is the reports. There are many different reports that you can generate. So from here, you can select any of these engineer groups or the technician groups, and then you can have a look at the session summary. You can also have a look at chat logs, audit of the system. You can get them in HTML, CSV, and Excel files. And these are all different functionalities and configuration of GoTo Rescue. This concludes my technical demonstration for today.